Alright, this video is about tying 6 knots that you need to know for camping. They're useful not only in camping but in everyday life when you need to come across a situation where you need to tie an effective knot. The first knot we're going to tie is the double half hitch. We start by going around whatever we're tying to. Make one loop pass through the loop. Come over and tie the second. And that secures the line to whatever you're trying to secure it to. This knot does not work well if you're trying to take the slack out of the standing end of your rope. It doesn't provide enough friction here that over time this knot will slip. So to cure that, we tie a similar knot called the taut line hitch. The taut line hitch, essentially the same knot with one other step. We go around our object, make one pass through our loop, make a second pass through our loop, come over and tighten the knot. This is the taut line hitch. It's pretty effective. If you're tying off to the edge of a tarp, you can take the slack out of your rope this way, and the friction provided by this extra turn diminishes the ability for this knot to slip. It will slip, but it won't slip as easy. So you can take the slack out of your tarp and really get it tight, and it'll hold in winds and under pressure. So that is the taut line hitch. Third knot is your clove hitch, and we want to start out by going around, coming over the top of that first loop, and then going back through parallel to our this is the clove hitch. This is used to start projects that you're using lashings for, and it secures the line. You might put a stopper knot in it. You have a lot of pressure on this and it tends to slip. This stopper knot will hit this overhand cross and will prevent this from pulling through. That is the clove hitch. Let me get this out of here now that I've pulled it. Okay. Two other knots that I want to show you. This is the square knot. You have two ropes that you want to join together. Usually they're the same size, same diameter. You have your right hand rope, your left hand rope. You want to go right over left, and then left over right. That gives you the square knot. You join two knots together. You might not want to put a full load on this knot. There's another knot that's a little stronger, but works together like this. When there's not tension on it, you might have a tendency to come apart. That leads us to our next knot. Let me show you one other thing about the square knot. If you don't get the right over left, left over right part, make a bend or bite in one rope, come up through that loop, come around the back side and go back down through, and that is the square knot without the right over left, left over right instructions. It's easy to tie. It takes practice. They all take practice. Once you do them enough times, it's muscle memory, and you can do them in your sleep and without even looking. So the next knot I want to show you is the sheet bend. You take your bite of your rope and you come up through, similar to the way we showed you with the square knot. Instead of coming back down through the hole, you want to come underneath that line, and this is the clove hitch. Now, this knot's used to usually tie two ropes together using, you can be the same diameter rope like this, or two dissimilar size ropes, one smaller, one larger, and get a very effective knot for securing the two lines together. This knot's a lot stronger as far as being able to put tension on these two lines. This one's caught and bound underneath this line. It doesn't have a tendency to come apart under slack. So that's that knot. And we're going to give you a bonus knot. You're lucky today. The bonus knot I'm going to show you is the bowline knot. And let's say this is your standing in and they've thrown a rope to you. You need to be rescued out of a well, or you want to be rescued, pulled up out of a ditch, but you don't want to tie a double half hitch that tends to tighten up on you. You want to tie something that is a loop that goes around you that will not bind on you, won't tighten up. The knot I'm going to show you is the bowline. And you take your end and you cross over. This is your standing end. This is your working end. The loop comes over like that. And you come out of the hole, around the tree, back down in the hole, and you start to tighten it together. And that is the bowline knot. And what this knot does is it creates a loop that doesn't constrict. This loop will stay the same. You can either use it in a boat that you tying off to a pier, throw this over the piling, take this in, wrap it around the cleat, or if you're trying to rescue somebody from out of a pit or get them up from a lower um, area that you want to pull them up out of, you tie this or have them tied around themselves, and then they can wrap this around them, and then you're able to pull them up. This knot won't constrict on them, so it'll stay the same, goes up under their arms, be able to pull them to safety. And that's the bonus knot. So all these knots are very easy to tie. The other thing about these knots is that they're easy to untie. So once you've tied them, you can reuse your rope and for another purpose. So if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you look for more content like this, please subscribe. I'm trying to build my channel. Got lots of other stuff coming down the pipe. I appreciate you watching. Come see me again. I'll see you next time. Thanks.